Good day everyone, my name is Romeo Roel Paras and I'm here to discuss about conditional statements. Some sentences are written so that they consist of two clauses, one which begins with the word if or when stating a condition and the other stating the consequence or conclusion. These statements are called conditional statements. So by definition, a statement takes the form if A then B or A implies B is called a conditional statement. For example, if you are a reader, then you are a learner. So in this statement, the condition here is if you are a reader. So this is the condition. And the conclusion here is then you are a learner. So these statements represents the A and this statement represents the B. So this is in the form of conditional statement because it starts with an if and the conclusion starts with a then. The second example is if Nemo is a fish, then he swims. So the condition here is if Nemo is a fish, and the conclusion is then he swims. So if A then B can be written in a mathematical expression like this. A implies to B. So the second definition is the converse of A implies to B is B implies to A. Let's take the example in definition 1. So for example, if you are a learner, then you are a reader. So in example 1, in definition 1, the statement is if you are a reader, then you are a learner. So here we interchange the original statement from B to A and A to B. So the new statement here is if you are a learner, which is the condition, and then you are a reader is the conclusion. So for the second example, the original statement is if Nemo is a fish, then he swims. So again, we interchange the statements. So the new condition is if he swims, and the conclusion is then Nemo is a fish. So note that by writing the converse of a conditional statement, the whole sense of the original statement becomes different. Definition is the contrapositive of A implies B is not B implies not A. So with these statements, the contrapositive is formed by interchanging the hypothesis or the condition and the conclusion, then denying them both. Thus, the contrapositive of the given examples in definition 1 are 1. If you are not a learner, then you are not a reader. So by taking the converse of the original statement, which is if you are a learner, then you are not reader, deny the both statements by using a negative word like not, can't, or anything that will deny the statement. So the new condition is if you are not a learner, so this is the condition of the contrapositive statement, then you are not a reader is the conclusion. So for the second example, the converse is if he swims, then he is a fish. So by denying the both statements, we will get if he does not swim is the condition, then Nemo is not a fish is the conclusion. the last definition, which is definition number 4. The inverse of A implies B is not A implies not B. So going back to the original form, which is A implies B, so we will deny the both statements, the condition and the conclusion. So given these statements, the inverse is formed by denying both the condition and conclusion. Thus, the inverse of the given statements in example number 1 is, or are, if you are not a reader, which is the condition, then you are not a learner, which is the conclusion. So the original statement here is, if you are a learner, then you are if you are a reader, then you are a learner. So by denying both the statement by using not and are not, then you can make the inverse of the statement. Next, if Nemo is not a fish, which is the condition, then he cannot swim, which is the conclusion. So again, by denying both the statements by using not and cannot, we will get the inverse of the original statement. So that's all. I hope you learned something for today. God bless.